All right, guys, if you're going to stay for the training, I'll have you take a seat. If you're not going to stay for the training, I guess I'll ask you to go outside the door so you don't disrupt everybody else. That might work. How many RDs, just so I can get a feel, because I've never been here before. Some of you I've met, some of you I haven't. How many RDs do we have in the room? Regional directors, managing directors? Okay. Senior directors? Fantastic. And our executive director. Any guests tonight that are going to stay training how to get started? No? All associates? Fantastic. We're ready to go then. All right. So a lot of folks want to know a couple of things I like to cover. One, I think, is the invite, the list, and then handling some of the objections that you might get. And that's a little bit harder for me to cover. I love covering it, but it's a little bit harder, and you're going to laugh when you hear me say this. I don't get objections, hardly ever. I get people that say either yes or they say no, but I don't get objections. And I think you'll understand why when you learn about how I recruit and how I build my business. So we all have different things we're good at and different skills that we have. I'm not a great recruiter. I'm going to tell you that up front. That's why I only have 28 people on my team. But I'm really good at building teams and helping other people, which is how my team got so big and I promoted, right? So you have to be good at one or the other. You either have to be a great team builder or you have to be a great recruiter. So I'm going to talk a little bit about both, because in order to be a great team builder, you got to be able to teach your team to recruit, and you got to be able to help them. So first and foremost, how many of you do three-way calls with your sponsor, another leader, something, somewhere? Not too many. It's not unusual. It's mostly what I see from a lot of people. So I'm going to tell you just a bunch of stories about how I build and what I do with my team and how I got them over the hump of using that three-way, because it's one of the most powerful things. And here's the reason why. Your friends, your family, your acquaintances know you for you. My friends, my family, my acquaintances knew me as a stay-at-home mom. That's not very credible. I haven't owned a business, haven't started a business. I ran the PTO or the swim banquet, or they knew me as a busy person, but they didn't know me as a business person. So I don't really have a lot of credibility bringing a business to people, especially really successful people. Anybody feel that way? So what I started doing was using a side door approach right off the bat. So first you've got to have your list. I make a list every single month. Every single month I make a list. I keep a notebook. I make a new list every month. I carry over people from the month before that maybe I didn't get a hold of. These are the key people I want to get to. And here's the reason why I can do that. I'm always meeting new people. Now part of it is I've got kids. They're always on new sports teams. I don't feel the need to talk to every single one of my friends in the first 10 minutes I meet them or see them about strength. And I would tell you not to do the same thing either. This is not about a business. This is about a relationship. This is about building trust with people. And if you build a relationship and you build trust with people, the business will come. I have more people in my life right now that have no idea what I do, other than I'm getting a Mercedes because I work with this company. And just now, because I started to post that, they're saying, what's the company you work with? Can you imagine that? People I'm surrounded with, that I sit with all the time, and they have no idea what I do. And that's because I pick and choose who I'm going to talk to and how long I'm going to build a relationship with somebody until I feel it's the right time to talk to them about strength. Don't be in a hurry. It's not a race. You can have your goals, but you can also take the time to build the relationships too. Here's the number one thing I did when I was starting my business, other than, let's just get it out of the way. You all have the Trishas in your life like I did, right? That you've got credibility with, that you can call and pick up the phone and say, hey, I want you to be my energy customer, or look at a business, and they're going to come because it's you. Right? You've known them forever. They know you, right, wrong, or indifferent, but they're going to come and help you out. Those aren't the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the other 98% of the people that you know. Okay? The other 98% of the people that I knew, I had to figure out how to call them. And the approach they were giving me wasn't working. Anybody had that? Yeah. Hey, do me a favor. Take a look at this, type of thing. I want your opinion. I don't want their opinion. Any of you want somebody's opinion? Okay, I don't even want to tell you what opinions are like. They're like my shoes. I walk all over, right? So here was my approach. Regardless of who I was calling, the only thing that would change was the compliment, right? So I might call Brett as an attorney. Matter of fact, I did call an attorney, my husband's contract attorney, and I called him up and I said, you're one of the brightest people I know. You're one of the most successful people I know. I'm getting ready to launch a business. I was wondering if you'd do me a favor and sit with me for about 15, 20 minutes so I could share with you what I'm doing in hopes that you might know somebody. Every single person said yes. And here's why. People will do more to help you than they will to help themselves. Anybody have that experience?
Amen.
Y'all know people that need this business, right? And you're dying to give it to them. They don't want it. They don't want it until they know they want it. You know when they'll know they want it? When they see 100% of the information. But you're not going to get them to look at 100% of the information by telling them, I got the perfect business for you. I know you need this. I know you're looking to put your kids through college. I know you need a new car. I got the deal for you. You're going to love this company. They're going to go like this. Anybody have that experience? Yeah, me too. That's why I started doing this. I call this a side door approach. Because now if I call Brett and he says, yeah, Julie, anything for you. Be happy to help you. Great. Can you meet me for coffee? I won't take any more than 20 minutes of your time. Sure. When do you want to meet? Wednesday or Thursday, right? You book the appointment. Now, when you go, don't take more than 20 minutes of their time, which means you got to zip your lip and don't explain this. You just got to look at them and say, you got to lead with your why. I've been looking, Scott and I have been looking because we're worried about whether or not he's going to have a job a year from now. We got 4 kids to get through college. I'm not sure we're going to do it. So we started looking for a plan B. I think I found something. I know you know a lot of people. It's really hard for me to explain it. I'm just going to press play, and it's going to go through the details for you. Okay, fine, no problem. Now, I let it go through the intro, who we are, and what we do, and at the end of that, I pause and say, do you have an electric bill? Yes. So do you understand you get the same electricity, the same bill, the same service. It's free to switch. It costs you absolutely nothing. You'll save a little bit of money with me. I get that part. Do you have any questions about that part? Nope. Okay, now it's going to go into the money. I press play again. That's it. At the end of it. Now, why do I stop it right there? Because at the very least, I want to walk out of that meeting with what? Customer. You think I'm going to get a customer? Yeah. Yeah. But at the end of it, I look at them and go, do you know anybody? And what do you think they said?
Yes, me.
Why not me?
Exactly.
You think it doesn't happen? We launched Maryland, 5 months after I was into this business. See, I'm dyslexic. There you go, 5 months. Yeah, 5 months after I was in the business. We launched it in May of 2011. I said to my husband, he actually went to that first ignition because we were going to the black tie event. So he came. We came back. They launched Maryland. I guess it was March. And I said, I don't know a soul in Maryland. Do you know anybody in Maryland? And he goes, I know one person. His name is Cam Cameron, who is my fraternity brother. He's the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. I go, great, get him on the phone. He was like, I don't know about that. And I was like, I'll write the script. So I wrote that exact script out for him, for my husband, because I didn't want him opening his mouth because he didn't know a thing. He didn't know how to explain anything. She called Cam up. Hey, Cam, how you doing? What's going on? Great. Hey, listen, the company my wife works with is expanding in Maryland. Would you, when she comes down there next week, would you sit with her for maybe 20, 25 minutes? She could share with you what she's doing, and maybe you might know somebody through your kid's school or church or wherever it might be able to help her. I said, sure, Scott, anything for you. So I called him up. I said, hey, Cam, I'm headed down there next week. Would Thursday be okay with you? He said, yeah, my wife's going to be here. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And I said, you know what? I said, it's in the energy industry. He said, okay. He was just checking to make sure it wasn't Amway. I heard that when I got there. That's what, right? They're honest with you when you get there. I bet you thought this was Amway, didn't you? And they go, yes, we did. If you inject a little humor into it when you get there, just get whatever you think the negative is going to be. Don't hide from it. Get it out there. Get it out there. If you think this person's going to be turned off to network marketing, get it out there. Do you understand the marketing? Have you ever looked at a network marketing company or been involved with one before? You'd be surprised. The stories, I want to dig in. I want to know what they know, what experience they've had. That's why I don't get that objection. Y'all get that? I don't ever get that objection because I've already dug it out, brought it to the surface, and dealt with it right then and there. That's the easy part of it. Cam, I go to Cam's house. What do? I press play. And by that time, I was a senior director. I could certainly explain the business. I pressed play. I did the exact same thing. At the end of it, I looked at him and I go, he goes, how you doing with this? And I said, well, I'm a senior director. I said, I've got over 1,000 people on my team. I said, my monthly energy checks started coming. I understand they're the lowest they'll ever be. I said, it's been phenomenal. I've helped a lot of people. I said, do you know anybody? And his wife looked at him, and I'm not kidding, in at least a $3 million house. And he said, she looks at him and goes, why wouldn't I do this myself? Now, you know what I'm thinking, right? But what do I ask instead? Instead of saying, man, that's fantastic, let's go. I looked at her, I go, why would you want to do this? So the next thing I want to know, when somebody says, why wouldn't I do it myself? I go, why would you? I want to drag their why out of them so that I know what's motivating them. I've actually said no to signing people up because I didn't think they were motivated enough. Man, they come chasing after me. See, people can smell when you're desperate. They can feel it. You can feel whether you're confident in your business, whether you need them or don't need them. Do you understand now when I tell you I've never asked somebody to do this business or to look at? They ask me, why wouldn't I do it myself? I think I'd like to do that. Kim's wife taught me a great lesson. She said, you know what? She goes, this economy has affected everybody, even if it's not us, everybody around us. She goes, one of our friends went from making $1 million as a builder to $500,000. He just lost his house. And I was like, wow. You don't think about that. Everybody's affected at some level or another. She said to me, she goes, if you'll spend the night, she goes, I'll invite some people over tomorrow. Can you present it then? I said, yeah, where's the nearest CVS? I'll go get a toothbrush, right? So for 5 weeks, I went there every Wednesday. They'd put people in the room Wednesday night, just in their house. Wednesday night, I'd spend the night. Thursday morning, she'd do a coffee. Thursday afternoon, I'd do a training. Thursday night, I'd do a meeting and then drive home. I had a nice little suite over at their garage. I even kept my clothes right there. That's how it's done. I knew one person. She had 35 people in her business within 5 weeks. And then she quit. She called me up. She goes, I can't do this. She goes, my daughter, they had the exact same setup we had. She had 3 boys and a girl. They were a few years. They're where my kids are now. And her 12-year-old daughter could not adjust to her working. And she wanted to be just like me. She goes, I want to be just like you. And she had her goal set up, but she was struggling with going back to work with her daughter. I said, no problem. Shut your website off. I'll work with your team. You think I cared and got hung up that she quit? She brought me 34 people. That's what you want to do. That should be everybody's goal, is assume your brand new associate is going to quit. 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it is. Your goal is to get all their contacts and get on it right away before they quit. And I guarantee you, most of them won't quit because now they've got a team. How do you do that? Start doing meetings with them. Start doing conference calls with them. Teach them right off the bat what's most important about the business. I just signed up my first associate down in Florida. I said, look, you can't come aboard unless I know how you're going to get your 3 points. Because nobody makes any money, and I'm not into making donations to stream. So you got to explain to me how you're going to get your 3 points. How many of you have ever said that to a new associate? That's confidence. And that isn't because I'm an executive director. That's because I don't want to waste my time, and I'm in this business to make money. And what message do you think that sends that new associate? You're in the business to make money, not make it a hobby, not hold their hand, but to make it a business. That lets them know from day one that you're going to approach this from a business, and they'll treat it like a business for them. I talked to a business owner the other day, TCBY. She's been my customer forever. You want to know how you get new names? Go talk to your customers. I'm holding a free energy party at my house tomorrow night, and I've got current customers as well as new potential customers coming. My old customers, the people who have been my customer, I thank you very much for being my customers. Come. I got a nice bottle of wine for you I want to send you home with. But more importantly, a lot of you are my customer and you don't even understand how it works. So come so you can understand how it works. Now here's what I'm going to do right off the bat, and I've got one of these planned up in Rochester too, is I'm going to look at them and say, how many people do you know that have been ripped off or complain that they're paying too much? So I'm here to educate you on how to protect your bill and why working with Stream is the best possible thing you can do. And then I'm going to do this free energy. So one of my customers last week that I was talking to and inviting to this party, I'm talking to her about free energy because I want my current customers to sign up for the free energy program because what's that do? Builds MEI. They go get 15 customers and maybe they might want to position themselves, which was the customer last week. I was signing her up, helping her renew. I started talking to her about free energy and she goes, man, you're really doing great at this business. She goes, how many people do you have? I said, oh, I've got over 2,500. She goes, wow, did you sponsor all them? I go, only 28. You did all that with 28 people. I go, yeah. She goes, I don't know if I'd have the time to do that. How many of you have had the time objection? Right? So she already said, I don't know if I'll have the time to do that. And I said, well, I can appreciate that. I work with a lot of business owners, or I know a lot of business owners that are in Stream. Here's what I'll tell you. I do this full time. It's all I do. But you've got lots of contacts. You just refer your contacts to me. I'll help you build your business. That's how we partner and we do this together. Takes the time, objection, right off the board, and how to do it, right? Or you tell them, I want to show you. Remember, whatever you do with your prospect is sitting across from you and thinking two things. Number one, can I do what that person is doing? So you're the expert, John, and you start talking about all this and energy and, you know, the mobile service is this and this, all this, and your guest sitting across from you is going, holy crap, I don't have time to learn all that. Nor do I want to. Or they're thinking question number two, right? How many of you have done that? Become the expert. Answer all the questions, do all that. Get back to the basics, just press play. And the only play you have to do is that new 4-minute video. That's all I send. If they don't get it from that 4-minute video, is it 4 or 5 minutes, that new one, and they're not interested from that, next. Hey, be my customer. I'm not going to chase them around. Right? They'll figure it out. Here's the second thing they're sitting across from you thinking. Is this person going to help me? And that's where your attitude and your confidence comes in. Not what you know. It's how you project yourself and what you're doing. And sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. Y'all heard that? Y'all got to fake it till you make it sometimes. Because people are sitting across and here's what they want to know. My girlfriend Lisa was a perfect example for that. She called me the other day. She goes, man, all these people that said no to me a year ago, she goes, are saying yes. She goes, and when I call them, they're like, you're still doing that thing? See, people have been so conditioned. They've seen so many of their friends and family try these things and quit. That the first time you come to them and you talk to them about it, they're like, yeah, I've seen these before. You're probably going to quit. They probably think you're going to quit. Or they may know you. They may see you do other things and quit. I don't know what your history is, right? But that's what ends up happening. And sometimes they just want to see if you're going to stick it out. And that's exactly what happened to her. She had done a couple of things before. People had seen other things come and go. And when she called them a year later, they were like, you're still doing that thing? She goes, yeah. I'm a senior director. I've got great monthly energy income coming in. They were like, Yeah, I'll come back and take a look at it then. Now they know she's serious, right? Is that not the difference? Can you all see how that plays a different role? Now, sometimes it's just people are at a different place in their life. Sometimes you're at a different place and they see your success and now they want a little piece of it and they want to know. I talked to a lady when we launched Maryland. She actually wrote our mortgage. We bought our retirement house down in Naples. She wrote our mortgage for us. I had contacted her. She was the only other person that came to mind. I didn't even know she was in Maryland. I contacted her and then I learned she was in Maryland. And she didn't do the business. I got the Mercedes. She called me up the next day. Now, first of all, if somebody replies to one of my posts or comments on it, I send a personal message to them. So anybody that commented on any of my posts having to do with Stream, I go on private message. Any of you on Facebook, using Facebook to expand your business, this is how you do it. If they noticed your post, go into private message and send them a private message and just say to them, thank you so much for your comment on my post. I can help you save too. Or I can show you how to do this. That's what I did. And I had like 78 people say something about my post. Now, if you were in Stream, I didn't do that, right? You're already in. You didn't get a message. I didn't talk to you. But anybody that wasn't, I sent them a personal message. I said, if you'd like to learn more, let me know. And they responded back. Yeah, I think I'd like to know more. She was one of them. And here was the difference. I talked to her in 2011. In 2011, she was comfortable, and then life threw her a curveball. And now she's working at Fannie Mae, commuting 2 hours every single day, working in a cubicle, as she calls it, and hates her job. And that's what's happened in the last 4 years of her life. The last 4 years of my life, this is where I'm at. And she's now looking, going, man, if I had taken a different path, right? Those are those people that say, I wish I had, but it's not too late. See, if you'll just leave people with a good feeling when they do say no, and that's what I always tell people, whether or not you say yes or no to me does not affect my business. So I don't care any way or another. I don't care. You need to develop the I don't care attitude. Because I'm going to tell you, the less you care about them joining the business, the more they want to join your business. It's the most amazing thing ever.
So true.
It's so true, but so few people do it. You know why I do it? I act like a recruiter. Any of you ever work with a recruiter for your job or know somebody that is? Study it. Recruiters don't care if you take the job. Their only job is to find people and introduce them to the companies and let the companies decide. They hope they're going to take it. They're going to make money if you take it, but that's not up to them to decide. It's not up to you to decide whether somebody's going to do this business. You can't control that. Your only job is to share it to them and not care. Because if they join or don't join, it doesn't affect your business. Are you going to stop doing it? Make up your mind right now. Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you going to stop doing this business if somebody says no to you?
No.
So once you come to that decision that you are not going to quit just because somebody says no, who cares? Get the no's out of the way. Tell them, I don't care if you say no to me. Matter of fact, if somebody takes too long to watch a video or they're not getting back to me, I'll say to them, by the way, I don't care if you join. I was just doing you a favor. I don't care if you switch. Makes no difference in my life. I'm already here. I'm just looking to save you some money. Just do what you want. They'll be like, no, I want to switch. What do I need to do? Oh, no, I want to take a look at it. Life just got in the way. Right? Because you don't care. They think you're going to leave them behind. It's the biggest thing that I see in the company is people don't develop that attitude and go for it. They don't make up their mind and come to a strong conviction that they are not going to quit. And I would tell you, start there. Go home tonight, look yourself in the mirror, and make a decision. A final decision. Whether or not you are going to do this business for the long haul and not quit. See, I made that decision from day one, and my kids helped me make that decision. By the time I got the senior director and realized my kids were emotionally involved in my business now, and they were watching me, I could not quit. And there were times I wanted to quit. When she quit down in Maryland, I was pissed. She had all the credibility. I didn't know if the rest of the team was going to quit. Some of them did because they followed her. Sometimes that's what happens with people who follow me. I was up in Rochester building. I was trying to get the ED. I didn't make my goal for meeting ED. I had obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. And I kid you not, I wanted to quit. But I knew my kids were watching. They were watching how I handled the disappointment. They were watching how I handled the frustration. They were watching to see, and I had to think, what message do I want to send to them? And that was the deciding factor in a lot of instances. Because I knew somebody was watching and I had made that commitment to do that. So make that commitment to yourself first, and then everything else will follow. It'll be a lot easier. So here's the invite. No matter who it is, pay them a compliment. Hey, Brett, you're one of the most successful people I know. You're one of the most handsome people I know. Right? You're one of the dirtiest people I know. I don't know. You drive one of the nicest cars. You have one of the nicest houses. I'm getting ready to launch a business. Would you do me a favor and sit with me for 15, 20 minutes so I could share with you what I'm doing in hopes that you might know somebody? And that's all you want to do, is know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. Do you know a few people that might want to switch and save their electric? Do you know a few people that might want to make money? Yeah, I kind of do. And then here's the other thing. Accumulate some stories about some other people so you can tell them. So if you're sitting across from a real estate person, you know a story about a real estate person that does this business and how they do it. Matter of fact, I love to give them on the phone. All right, last thing I want to wrap up with is the three-way credibility. Right? Because I had no credibility in business. Even if I sat with them and they had questions, matter of fact, I played that mommy card to the hilt. Play your weakness. That's most people don't do that. They don't want to seem weak. And guys, you've got it worse. Your egos just get in the way. We just don't have them. I just don't care, right? I'm a stay-at-home mom. What do I have to prove to anybody? But I would say to them, you know what? I don't know the answer to that. But I know who does. Let me get them on the phone. Now, my team probably has the same issues that this team probably has. Oh, I don't know. They might get mad if I get somebody else on the phone. Oh, let me make sure it's okay with them hey, do you want to talk to Brett, my sponsor? No, I don't want to be closed by Brett, your sponsor. That's what they're thinking. You're bringing in a closer, right? They don't understand. You're just giving them more information. So here's what I would do. I tell my associates, Eileen, if you were one of my associates and you called me and said, Julie, your invite worked, and please do call me and tell me when the invite worked, because it does work. I got a meeting tomorrow. Fantastic. What time are you meeting this person? 9 o'clock. Great. Make sure your cell phone is on. I'm calling you at 9:20. I'm going to call her at 9:20. Tell me who you're meeting with. A little bit of background. At 9:20, when I call you, here's what I want you to say. Oh my gosh, Julie, I can't believe you just called. I'm sitting with my friend Brian, just getting ready to talk to him about Stream. Hey, Brian, this is Julie Bennett. She's an executive director, matter of fact, one of our top 50 money earners, and with Stream. Matter of fact, hey, Julie, would you say hi to Brian? Brian, this is Julie, and hand your phone over. That's it. They do it every single time. I don't even care if they've looked at the presentation. Your third-party person has the tools they need to adapt to any situation. Brian, John, Don, they all have the tools to be able to adapt. So if I get Brian on the phone and I say, hey, Brian, nice to meet you. What do you do? Da-da-da. He's going to tell me. I'm going to find a common key with him. Either he's got kids, I know his background, whatever it is. So I know how to bridge that gap and create a bond very quickly, right? But what I'm going to do is, hey, I understand you're sitting there. You're going to take a look at Stream. Let me just tell you a little bit about my experience with Stream. I got involved 3.5 years ago, stay at home. I'm going to tell him a quick little 2.5-minute story that takes him from free energy, free vacations to now my Mercedes. Hey, if after Eileen shows you the presentation, you have any questions, feel free to give me a call back. Happy to talk with you. This is really a phenomenal thing. And Eileen is absolutely amazing at this business. She's knocking it out of the ballpark. Now, my job at the very end is to boost up that associate. in the eyes of her person that doesn't know her as anything other than stay-at-home mom or whatever she is. Y'all get how that works? Do you see why you need a third-party credibility? Do you think your prospects would listen a little bit more to you after a phone call like that? And I can do phone calls like that all day long for my team. I tell them, I don't care where I am. I'm in the ball field. I'm in a swim meet. I'm in the car. Call me. It's a 15-minute thing. And here's the thing. If I can't get them on the phone, just send me their number. I'll call them. Hey, I understand you met with Eileen earlier today. Just wanted to call and introduce myself. You know, here's my background. If you have any questions, it's not for everybody. I take it away from them. See, I can do the things that she can't do because she's too close. But I can do it because I don't know this person. I don't have an emotional attachment. So I can say to them, look, this probably isn't for you. Maybe you don't have the time. No, I have the time. Yeah, maybe you don't have a need. Maybe you make all the money you want. You don't need a plan B. Your kids are going to college, whatever it might be. Oh, no, I can do that. Right? They start convincing you, well, they need it. And that's the whole goal. Call me if you need that. Right? Use the third-party credibility. Not enough people are doing it, and that's why you're not closing your prospects. And don't be afraid to walk away from your prospect. How many of you have been chasing people for months?
Oh, yeah.
I can put an end to that right now. Send them a text tonight and say, hey, thanks for taking the time to look at the stream business. Obviously, you're not interested. I just wanted to let you know that's A-okay. Does not affect my business one way or another. Friends forever. Right? If you happen to know anybody, let me know. I guarantee you, you'll get a text message back now. Oh, no. My mom got sick. The lights went out. My daughter had a play. I'm interested. Don't leave me behind.
Yeah. So true.
It's true. You know, I know it's true. I had to learn all of this too. And it's not easy, so pick one thing, focus on it, and then do the next one. All right, guys? Thanks for staying. Oh, wait. Anybody just promote the RD this past month? We didn't do any recognition earlier. Anybody promote to RD this past month? No. Anybody just get free energy this past month? Did anybody work last month? For crying out loud, what's going on up here? Did you not see those promotions? $300, it was a $75 business. All right, I'm going to leave these with Brett then, and when somebody promotes to RD,
I got that book.
I've got the Robert Kiyosaki Business of the 21st Century. I leave these with some of my prospects sometimes. But when you promote to RD, MD, or SD this month, then Brett can give you this, or you get free energy. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time.